A researcher, historian and specialist in the Middle Ages, Spaniard David Catalunya began his study of this unique organ, probably the oldest in the world, as well as of the carillon of bells. The doctor in musicology came to Jerusalem to deepen his research on this exceptional 12th century instrument discovered by archaeologists in Bethlehem in the Basilica of the Nativity at the beginning of the 20th century and preserved in Jerusalem by the Franciscans. This unique organ is a historical discovery. For researchers, a real opportunity to fill a gap of almost 5 centuries in Christian history.
This is the only organ from the period that has been preserved in an incredible state of preservation. So the history of this organ probably was that it was brought to the Holy Land by the French Crusaders. And it was used for nearly 1 century at the Nativity Church until one of those Muslim invasions in the late 12th century. So the organ was removed in order to protect them from devastation, and possibly with the hope that one day it could be used again. The instrument is really like frozen in time because it was possibly interred underground in a wooden case in order to protect it. So I am absolutely amazed to see that these pipes could have been made yesterday. Here we have the opportunity to really understand much more about the medieval history of the organ and technology in general and church culture. And we also have an opportunity to understand how these instruments were made in order to replicate them and bring their sound alive again.
Introduced into the liturgy of the Latin Church in the 10th century, the organ is a very important artifact in Western culture. However, until this discovery, we had no material evidence of the early development of organs in the Church before the 15th century.
This is very close to the origins of this musical and technological tradition. And that's why it is so important to study and to understand how the organ became introduced into the church and then adapted to the needs of the Latin rituals inside the church. So the instrument got transformed, and that's what we are studying.
In collaboration with the Custody of the Holy Land, this study should also deepen our knowledge on the musical history of the Middle Ages.
Cet orgue sera présenté dans le Terra Sancta.
It will be exhibited in the Terra Sancta Museum, and the scientific committee is particularly happy to have this partnership with David Catalunya, so that this organ can be better presented in the museum and also contribute to the knowledge of the musical history of the Middle Ages.
De l'histoire musicale du Moyen Âge.
This 5-year project, still in its preparatory phase, should lead to the complete reconstruction of this organ.
This will be a long process in order to learn to reconstruct the manufacturing techniques in order to be able to reproduce the pipes in the same way that they were done in the Middle Ages, in order to reproduce and reconstruct the full organ so that we can hear it again.